March 18th, Mike Tyson, Razor Ruddock. Razor Ruddock dies. If he doesn't die, it doesn't count. If he's not dead, it doesn't count.
It's time for This Week in Boxing again, where we try to give you all the news, reviews, and little bits and bobs that happened in the past week. Last up with last night fights. We've done a video already, so Hopkins Kovalev, one word.
Not an alien. That's 3 words.
Okay, also on the undercard was Saddam Ali versus Luis Abreu.
Yep.
Good fight.
Saddam Ali's arrived. Oscar de la Hoya. Most people, if you don't know who this guy is, and you only think of him as the dictator from Iraq, there's another Saddam Ali out there who's a boxer. That's a bloody good boxer. He's arrived. Watch his stuff on YouTube. He's very good. Honestly, watch his stuff. Stevens versus Sturm.
I ain't seen the fight yet. Been a busy weekend. But apparently a very good fight.
Yeah.
Went to a draw.
Yeah, random. Yeah. Always going to happen, don't it? 2 German fighters. They don't want to knock one off.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, we said that. We said this. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? We said that one of them's career is going to be done. Whoever loses, career's over. And it was almost like draw.
Yeah.
You know, I thought Stieglitz just edged it, but I have no problems with it being a draw. I don't think there's going to be a return. I told you who came in the ring after.
Yeah.
GGG and Abraham.
Yeah.
Don't understand, but it's funny because all of them are around 160, 168.
Yeah.
So there's a possible fights out there.
Yeah.
You never know.
Let's start with the news.
All right.
Let's see what we got here.
Let's go straight for the big one.
You go. I've just stopped my phone.
Let's go. Okay, let's just go straight to Chavez being signed. Or Chavez being signed by Al Haymon. Massive.
I think it's a big move. It says a lot about where Chavez is thinking about his career long term. It also shows Al Haymon's bargaining power again, because Chavez don't really like to negotiate with anyone, even through top rank.
Yeah.
But in the bigger picture, I don't see where it goes.
The only thing I can see where it goes, look, Al Haymon's been signing everyone. We've said it. One market he's not really signed is Latin America.
Yeah.
All the fighters, a lot of the fighters he's been signed have been African American. Don't get me wrong, someone might say, yeah, but he signed this one. There's the odd one in, but 90% of these fighters are African American.
Yeah.
And of those 90% of those fighters, not many of them can draw.
Yeah.
That's what boxing's about. Chavez, we've seen how Froch is goading him. Chavez is a draw.
Yeah,
he draws. And he's in terms of that Mexican fan base, he's got as big a fan base as Canelo.
Depending on who you believe, and as you know, I'm not a big fan of Bob Arum in recent times, but depending on who you believe, he's got a contract with Bob Arum for at least one more fight. And they're in litigation right now because they can't agree on the thing, and the money and the terminal and the extension clauses and everything. So in theory, signing Al Haymon is good on paper, but if you can't get a fight because you're tied in litigation, where did it take you? You still have to give that one fight over. Know what I mean? You still have to go to the terms of your promoter. Your manager or advisor, Al Haymon, will make recommendations and try to do things, but he's not the king of the ship yet. You've still got a signed contract. So
you have.
Chavez ain't fighting anytime soon, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you have. Look, the one fight top rank want is Carl Froch.
Yeah.
It brings money in. Chavez doesn't want that fight. Al Haymon supposedly doesn't really want that fight either. I think he will have one more fight. Don't expect it to be against anybody of note. But then again, Chavez doesn't really fight anybody of note anyway, really. So I expect to have a little bum fight. But I think in terms of what they're probably trying to say, or the feeders that are going out there, is that he fights on the May 5th card for Mayweather. If he does, we can have a big pay-per-view card. Big one.
Sticking with Al Haymon, Keith Thurman turns down $6 million contract from Rock Nation because he said that Al Haymon is proven, Rock Nation is not, so it was more of a business decision. That sounds to me, and I like Thurman, that sounds like more Al Haymon BS.
Yeah.
So now people are saying
that. No, don't say BS. Say what you want to say.
It's bullshit, bro.
Thank you.
It is, bro. Come on now. $6 million. How much did Quillen turn down?
Yeah, big money as well.
These guys are turned down.
Yeah. Like 1.5 million or something.
How much did Deontay Wilder
10 million?
Are you serious? You're going to turn down $6 million?
One thing is clear, and this is what one thing is clear: Rock Nation ain't playing.
No,
they're trying to come and sign the big boys here. Deontay Wilder, Keith Thurman, Peter Quillen.
They're throwing big money. I mean, if this was any other sport in the world, those deals have been signed.
I'm shocked. I'll be honest with you. The boxing window, your career can end in one fight. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. And you can go through your career not earning any good money. I'm shocked that any boxer, if your name is not Pacquiao, Mayweather, and Cotto, would turn down $6 million. I don't care what promoter offers it. I don't care if it's the worst promoter in the world. Take that money. Everyone did it when it was Don King.
Let me give you an example. Sean Porter was the future of boxing before the Kell Brook fight. They're going to meet him and Thurman going down the line, going to meet in the future. Soon as Porter lost, Porter ain't shit no more. Yeah. People say, I don't want to fight him. There's no way. Even his press from the press are saying like, he's alright.
Yeah, he's just alright.
You're going from the future to nobody. You know what I mean?
And for Keith Thurman, that literally is just, and I mean this in the kindest way, because like you said, we are Keith Thurman fans. But Keith Thurman right now is almost just a name yet. He still hasn't proven it against anyone of serious note. He's fought a few gatekeepers. So for you to be offered $6 million when your best fight is against Soto Carras?
Yeah. There you go. It's different. We were at the press conference Monday. Chris Eubank, Senior and Junior, did the no-show again. And let's be honest, members of the press were quite pissed.
Say it again?
Yeah, they were quite pissed.
Mate.
You know, like before, we both kind of agreed that, guess what, they were right the first instance because the contract wasn't signed.
Yeah, 100%.
And it wasn't sanctioned.
100%.
So you can make you understand why it didn't go. This time there was no excuse.
Yeah, and I don't know how much it cost for Frank Warren to hire out that suite because it was a nice little
it was lovely.
It was nice, wasn't it? BT Sports were there. Sky Sports were there. These are people Frank Warren's trying to get in bed with again. Do you know what I mean? For BT Sports to turn up,
and there was
lose something.
And there was talk. There was some cross promotional deal.
That's what they said.
That looked like it might be out the window now because,
why would it? Yeah,
because they said, well, the guy's not guaranteeing or showing that he's going to be there.
The worst thing, and we spoke to Sky's Ed Robinson about this, and he said like, he agrees with what your statement was that it might build the fight a bit more. But the worst thing he said is like, people are starting to believe this fight ain't happening. No. That's why people are not buying tickets for it. It's not a sellout yet.
I've been reading up, I'm trying to reply to all the comments on our videos. It's so hard to do, but the comments I've been replying to, people don't believe Eubank's going to be in it.
Yeah. I think Chris Eubank, as much as I like him as a fighter, we done the Eubank-Nigel Benn thing, love him as a fighter, he's not a promoter.
Yeah.
And I think he needs to kind of step that side away. You're supposed to be promoting your son now. Yeah. Your son isn't Mayweather. Your son hasn't got 100 million pay-per-view sales and all that kind of stuff yet. Your son doesn't even want a title. Promote him. Let the people, general public know about him. Because right now, his son's still, unfortunately, in the shadow of his dad's name. He needs to step out of that shadow and fight. What else you got?
Sergio Mora, Simon Haymon, as we all know.
Yeah.
Now he's calling that GGG.
At least someone is.
He's saying he wants GGG and wants to prove he wants to make. He's saying that he's going for more stoppages now, and he reckons he could take GGG. And he was saying that Jermaine Taylor's weak.
Yeah.
That Jermaine Taylor's Sergio wants to make a name for himself. Sergio's a good fighter. Let's not forget, Sergio did beat Vernon Forrest, and even though Vernon Forrest is best the shoulder surgery, Sergio got skills and wants to put it together.
You know,
could he be an interesting match into the mix?
No. Sergio was a good fighter. Vernon Forrest and even the Shane Mosley performance were 5 years ago.
I think
I don't know if Sergio Mora's got that still. Sergio Mora's I think 33 now, 34. I'm not sure he's got that anymore.
I think he's got a bad rap on the Shane Mosley performance. Everyone seems to blame him for the fight.
The ball draw.
But it's two people in the ring.
Yeah.
Shane Mosley weren't clean on that time either, so it weren't really his fault only.
He has got a bad rap, and he's trying to get out of that rap by talking a lot right now, and I respect that. But he's so far down the pecking order right now. It's a shame.
Yeah. I've got an interesting one. Apparently, Amir Khan and David Alexander are both contractless after 30th of December. They're no longer a Golden Boy. They have our Heyman contracts, but no Golden Boy promotional contracts.
Where'd you get that one from?
I'll put my info. Yeah. If that's true.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. I don't know what to say about that one. Yeah. If that's true, then it's all Al Heyman all the way then. It literally is Al Heyman all the way.
If it's true though, it actually made good business sense to give the fight the way it was, because it was supposed to be Guerrero and then they pulled it. Don't give one of your top guys with no contract in a fight with someone who's signed, because that guy, if the guy loses, then you know.
And you know, it's funny you say it, because look, we said this about 3 weeks ago that Khan's fighting Guerrero. We said it and we were confident. It was, that seemed to be the fight. And then all of a sudden, Alexander. Could it have been something like that? Exactly. Could that have been the reason?
I mean, either way, one's going to lose, so Golden would have to really put them out. And let's be honest, as tight as he is, he's not a huge draw.
He's not a
huge draw now, I'm trying to say. But Khan could beat Khan. He has the potential to beat Khan. You know, both say they want Mayweather.
You know, the thing for Khan, and they said even what we're supposed to be talking about, we're going to do this pre-fight. We're going to do that pre-fight video maybe in a couple of weeks' time. The list of who this kid has fought in the last 4 or 5 years is actually getting a bit silly. He has fought on a who's who, you know, of Hall of Famers, or there's a few Hall of Famers in there. If you say Zav Jr.'s a Hall of Fame, he has fought these people. Khan, more respect to you, my friend.
Speaking of Amir Khan, I watched the interview again on Fight Hype, and Amir Khan's on his value of himself. He was saying that Kell Brook ain't worth, Kell Brook ain't this. If I fight Kell Brook, it's on my terms, my negotiation, my this, my that. I'm like, yes, you're a draw, but you're not a world champion right now.
Nah.
Kell Brook's a world champion. Kell Brook's name's hot on the tongue. When the boxers forget about negotiating and promoting, and actually you negotiate, and do your bit. When you start saying that it's my show, it's my this, you're automatically alienating or blocking that fight.
What's happening with boxers now that didn't happen in the 90s and the 80s? Boxers now are promoters.
Yeah.
Amir Khan's got his own promotional company. We know that. Amir Khan, we see it at AK Promotions. And I do believe that sometimes some people tell him, okay, this is what your worth is, this is what Kell Brook's worth is.
Yeah.
I still think Amir Khan's a bit above Kell. Yes, Kell's a world champion, but we saw the StubHub. It wasn't a sellout, and that was a fantastic card. I feel like Amir Khan's a bit above him, but forget talking about negotiations. So in
Khan's terms, he's going to write the contract. I want this, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and here you're just going to accept it.
No,
it doesn't work that way. And I'm trying to say. So when you do that, I don't say you're ducking, but it's not a sign of someone that really wants to fight, because you know those terms will never work.
Al Haymon's his manager. Will that promotion go down? A fighter that's returned after, and I was wondering where this fighter had gone, because I hadn't seen him for a few years after he knocked down George Groves. Kenny Anderson.
Yeah,
super middleweight is back after a 2-year drug ban. When I honestly didn't even realise he had a drug ban. He's back. He's 31 now. Is he still got it? I don't know. But again, he puts himself into that mix with the likes of Paul Smith, DeGale, Groves, Callum Smith. A good name added again to what already is a kind of super British super middleweight showdown.
Yeah. Talking about British guy, Johnny Nelson.
Yeah.
Does he look similar?
You think he's... I ain't gonna lie. He's definitely is. You know what I say he is? Because he's tops. Yeah. And normally top button's always a bit bursting. Yeah. Right now,
is he getting down to 200 pounds?
Yes. He is blatantly getting down to 200 pounds. He is. He is training. Yeah. We don't know it's been signed. This fight could have already been done, You know what boxing's like. He is definitely trimming up. Yeah. I'll tell you that now.
Definitely trimming up.
HBO are going to show Vlad versus Pulev.
Yeah, very good.
Big news.
Very good. Miguel Cotto.
Yeah.
Came out a couple of weeks ago, said he's back, he's looking for a big fight, he wants a marquee name.
Yeah.
Now he says he's going to retire.
Yeah, he needs to.
Is that indecisive? Like you come back a few weeks ago, see all these big plans, and now you say you're going to retire because you can't get the fight.
I'm saying now that it's not indecisive. It's Carl Froch. Let's be honest. This Carl Froch scenario, ever since he knocked out George Groves, the only names that were linked were Chavez, DeGale, Kessler. Yeah. Chavez kind of went away and was adamant. Oh my God, DeGale's going to fight Froch. Yeah. That kind of went away, and then Kessler seemed to almost reappear. Yeah. And Froch mentioned in a couple of interviews. I remember there's one interview where he was with he saw the sound and he said, "What do you think, Kessler, Froch free?" And they were like, "Yeah, let's do it." I think there were negotiations, and I think those negotiations now have completely stalled, which is why I think he's saying retire. That's the only fight it would come out for, because it would be a good fight.
Yeah. I'm going to do a couple of little plugs here for a couple of things out there. This month's Boxing Monthly. I love magazines. I read all the boxing magazines I can out there. It's one of the best editions in a long time. Yeah. They've got a review section on the whole Nathan Cleverly, Tony Bellew fight, and the bloody Chisora, Tyson Fury, Chris Eubank, Billy Joe Saunders, everything. It's a nice little breakdown for everything. I mean, I sat down and read it. I said, guess what? I ain't going to bed for the rest of the night. I'm going to read the whole magazine. It was actually...
You do?
Yeah, I did. It was pretty great. So anyone ain't got a copy of that yet, get that straight away.
We got a press release, an urgent press release from Eddie Hearn and Matchroom
about signing on Monday.
About this big new signing for the Newcastle area or that side of it, and I can't for the life of me think who they have signed. And that person's going to be chucked in onto the card as well. They made the 29th card, sorry, the 22nd card. So who have they signed? Put your answer on a postcard. It automatically makes me think who's got like one fight left with Frank Warren, or who are they stealing from Frank Warren, because that's kind of what they have done in recently.
Also, Conor Alvarez is apparently a done deal. Bob Arum said that the fight's basically done. All they need is a location and a date. We all know that the date they're going for is to clash with Mayweather.
May 5th.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a plan. That's the plan what Canelo wants. But obviously, Mayweather works in association with Golden Boy. Yeah. They wouldn't promote two cards on the same day unless Mayweather goes his own separate way as he planned to do previously.
And he will do. And the reason he will do is because Pacquiao top rank. I genuinely believe if Pacquiao comes through against Algieri, it's Pac-Man versus Mayweather.
Guys, me and Ali disagree and argue all the time in boxing, and I'm going to disagree that Pacquiao Mayweather is not happening, brother, man. It's not happening. Seriously. I keep telling people all the time. I tell people every day. It's a dream. It's a dream. It's a dream.
No, it's a dream for you.
It's not happening. I mean, even if it did happen, it's honestly, you'll watch it, but is there any real interest in it anymore?
Alright, talking about that, we mentioned Pacquiao very briefly there. Algieri vacates his £140 WBO title.
See, I mentioned that last week, saying that they're going to try to strip him, and I still haven't seen an official release for it.
Yeah,
but rumour has it. It's released. Yeah, and this has proved my point. As I said the WBO has no credibility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look,
what does that say for titles now?
I tell you what,
vacate titles.
I don't know. WBO is going lower and lower and lower and lower.
Last thing, any fights announced? I'm trying to think. Has any fights been announced?
Any fights been announced? No, I'll tell you what fight was not announced though, in theory.
Not announced.
Nicholas Walker's manager or trainer said they don't want Nomanchenko next.
After we come out, how dare you? After we come out last week and said that would be a great fight.
Yeah, I mean,
why would you not want Nomanchenko next?
I don't get it. I mean, yeah, you just knocked out a pound-for-pound elite in 6 rounds or 7 rounds, and now you've got Nomanchenko. Yes, Nomanchenko is great, but you know,
I smell Al Heyman doing.
Yeah,
every time someone says I don't want a fight, a title, and money, all I can think of is Al Heyman now.
I don't get it.
Well, I just don't get it. Anything else?
I've got a few other little bits here, but
very quick.
No, we'll leave it at that for now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, there you go, guys. Look, and he does have loads more. Look at this. Let me. That's all notes that Ryan has that we're going to save until... We might do a midweek this week in boxing. But there you go, guys. This is another week of This Week in Boxing. Look, leave your comments below. We will get back to you. We know we get back to you. We do, don't we?
We're trying to. Honestly, I want to thank all people that follow Box Talk. I mean, the support's tremendous. I always try to put in there, thanks for your support. But there's so much comments coming right now. I'm behind.
You better bring catch up. Yeah. I'm not even trying to comment anymore. It's too many.
Yeah, it's too many. It's hard.
But no, we'll try and get back to you guys. So thank you for leaving your comment, and hopefully we can bring you more videos like this. Thanks for watching This Week in Boxing.